Yeah, how about you?
Great.
How does it feel to be here at Wofford and then just kind of get to experience your team in a dorm room in a different setting than you guys have been able to?
Yeah, it's great. In New York, I didn't experience this. Obviously, we had camp, but not in dorms or anything like that. So kind of brings me back to college days in a way, and really excited to get going.
What was the off-season like for you, after mandatory minicamp? What were some things that you were able to do?
Yeah, I think for me it was just, June and July are really the months, I think, to really ramp things up training-wise. So just getting stronger, faster, all those things, and then making sure I was staying on top of throwing, throwing 3 or 4 times a week.
And you had talked before about not being vaccinated. Obviously, you're wearing a mask. Have you been vaccinated, and what led to the decision?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that. So, but yeah, that's all I got to say.
Did the NFL, with some of the rules they put in where you can forfeit a game? I mean, did that play into your thinking at all in terms of, you don't have to answer, but what did it play into your thinking? Did it change your thinking at all when they instituted that rule?
No, I think for me, I was just making personal decisions the whole way. So that was pretty much it for me, guys, in terms of getting vaccinated or not. It's been a personal decision the whole time, and so I weighed my options and made my decision that way.
Sam, Matt said at the end of minicamp that they threw a lot at you in those sessions. I think the idea of maybe peeling back, or I don't know how you want to phrase that, but how did you feel coming out of that in terms of your handle on the offense, and now that you step into training camp?
Yeah, I mean, it was great to get those reps in OTAs and in mandatory minicamp to kind of see different defenses and different looks that way. And I think for an OTA and for a minicamp, they did throw a lot at us in terms of the quarterback position. It was great, because it forced us to learn the offense and learn the scheme. So I thought it went great, and just going to continue to build up on that in training camp.
Sam, how have you grown as a quarterback since taking your last snap with the Jets?
Yeah, I think for me it's just watching tape, getting better by watching, what I did wrong, how I can improve, and also, what I did well, and just continuing to improve on those things as well. So it's just watching tape and then making sure that I work on those things throughout the offseason.
Where's your greatest improvement have to come from?
I think just making smart decisions as a whole, whether it's getting out of the pocket and realizing, the play's not there, I got to throw it away, to making a play happen and running down the field and understanding that sliding is probably the best option, not taking any more hits. And I think just the idea of prolonging my career as long as possible is in my best interest right now, and I think that's kind of where my head's at.
So it's not competence, it's more risk management, basically?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything. It's everything. I think I just need to make better decisions when things break down. I get outside the pocket, and when I do run down the field, and in my head, I feel like sometimes, okay, I can make a guy miss, but for longevity reasons, I think sometimes the better decision would be to slide.
Sam, in talking about all the stuff they threw at you in OTAs, do you feel like you're a lot better able to process that information now than when you were a rookie, and how does that sort of manifest itself?
Yeah, I think, with experience you only grow. So through that, with my rookie year, kind of being the first year that I've really experienced an NFL offense, there was a lot thrown at me, and honestly it was kind of a blur. But now, going into year 4, I feel so comfortable being able to grasp an offense that I haven't learned before, and just running with it.
Sam, how often have you been able to interact with guys like DJ and Christian? Obviously, you had a rapport with Robbie before, but how often have you been talking with them since you signed with your Carolina?
Yeah, a ton. I mean, we're always in conversations with each other, and whether we're on the field throwing at a different location, or whether we're just talking or FaceTiming through the phone. So.
Sam, you just talked about being more comfortable. What's your confidence level like heading into this season compared to other years, and how did you get to that point?
Yeah, I'm super confident. I think going into this training camp, I think the whole idea is just to get better every single day, and that's where my mind's at right now. So I've always been confident. I've always had confidence in my game and in myself. So that's never going to change. I'm just going to continue to learn the offense every single day and continue to grow with my teammates.
That said, is there still a sense of pressure? I mean, coming into a new organization, and is there some added pressure at all?
I mean, it is what you make of it. I think, anyone, outside looking in can say, oh, there's pressure on him, he's got to win, all that stuff, which, that's true. But at the end of the day, it's me going out there, it's doing everything, like I just said, that I can do today to get better. And at the end of the day, making smart decisions on the football field and leading my team down the field and scoring touchdowns, that's my job title. So I'm going to do the best that I can to do that.
Sam, what will you take from the New York experience that you think will make you better prepared?
Yeah, I think, like I said before, it's just, growing from experience and, taking everything bad that happened there and everything good that happened there and making the most of it.
Maybe one example of that?
Nothing that I can, think of off the top of my head, but just learning from every experience that I have and growing from it.
I know. Is there a different sense coming into this training camp because it's with a new team, and whether you've been in New York or not, you would have had your third coach in 4 years, third head coach in 4 years. But was there a different sense coming in? It's almost like maybe when you were a rookie because it's such a new team and you didn't know many people?
I think for me it's just, I've been on teams where I've had to learn, different guys and where guys are from, have conversations like that. So when I first got to USC, it happened. When I first got to the Jets, it happened. And then, year after year in New York, you meet different guys. So, it's nothing that I haven't done before. So, like I said, just going to continue to grow that rapport with my teammates and go from there.
How hard is it, though, to have 3 head coaches in 4 years?
Yeah, it is what it is. I think for me, it's understanding, okay, what do I have to do to have a great year and lead this team? And I think that's really all I've thought, going into every single year, and that's not going to change.
Have you allowed your mind to wander? I know it's only 7 or 8 weeks away, but what it would be like to suit up against your former team on opening day, knowing all that goes into that?
Oh yeah, you visualize it. As an athlete, I think, when you start to head into training camp and, not yet, but when you start to put the pads on and it starts to feel real, you start to visualize that first week and winning that first game. So, just the fact that it's the Jets, I think that's just a coincidence, but, that's never changed for me.
How hard is it? Is there revenge? What comes into that? What are your thoughts on that?
Nah, it's just next opponent for us, and that's my mindset going into it.
You don't think the league office had you particularly in mind when they scheduled that game?
I'm sure they did. Because at the end of the day, it's reality TV. But I'm excited to get out there and start playing football.
Sam, I'm curious for you, it was a lot obviously with the trade and then coming right here and kind of getting going this past few weeks. Did you kind of take a break mentally to kind of take a second and take a breath, or what was that kind of like?
You gotta be careful with that because you don't want to take too much time off. But yeah, I think once mini camps ended, I think that's kind of your time to step away for maybe a few days or so. But like I said, June, July are the months that you want to start getting after it, the way our season's set up. So that's what I did. I was just training and doing all those things, looking at the playbook. I had some time to relax for sure, but definitely wasn't, checked out.
Did you really hit a golf ball off of a tree stump?
That wasn't me. That was my friend Kyle Allen, plays for the Washington football team. So shout out Kyle, but no, I didn't do that.
Did he hit his drive there, or y'all just like?
No, he just saw the tree stump and he was like, all right, I guess I'll hit it. He saw a little crevice in the tree, so thought he could put a tee down and hit it. Ended up, being a pretty cool video.
Did he say hold my beer before he did it?
Something like that.
What are those summer workouts like with those guys and with Jordan, and did you work on anything differently this summer?
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with weight distribution, making sure that, I wasn't so far on my back foot that I was really, even for the most part in my weight distribution, and just messing around with those kind of things, and, just continuing to throw routes. I think that's the biggest thing is the timing stuff as a quarterback when you get to take 5 in a hitch and just let it rip. So making sure we got some of those in, and then obviously off timing throws as well on the run.
Do those guys all crash at your place when they're out there?
No, they all got their own places. So that was the first couple years before we figured everything out. But we're adults now, so we got to figure it out.
What would you say is some leadership qualities you've shown since you got here?
Yeah, I think for me, I've always been a guy who's led by example, just doing the right things day in and day out.
I think that's why a lot of us ask about the vaccination, because some people are excited whether that's a sign of leadership. Did you look at it that way, or?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's everyone's choice to be able to make whatever decision they want to make.
Did Kyle tell you a lot about his time in Charlotte?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. A lot of good things. Obviously, I'm not going to go into a ton of depth, but yeah, he said nothing but great things about this team and the city of Charlotte.
Sam, your comfort level right now with Joe's playbook, how much grasp do you have? I know you got the training camp to go, but how much of a grasp on it do you have?
Yeah, I'm very comfortable with it. Obviously there's a lot of room to grow, so I'm just going to continue to work on that day in, day out.
Do you have a couch yet?
I do. I do have a couch.
Is there any more questions?
Yeah.
Sam, this is maybe almost too simple of a question, but how important is an offensive line to a quarterback's success?
Yeah, I think obviously offensive line's important. I think everyone's important, I think as a quarterback there's so many things that you look at and you say, oh, this is why he didn't have success, or this is why he had success. I think for me it's just about controlling what I can, and here we have great skill, great offensive line, and a great defense. So for me, I'm just going to do everything that I can to control what I can, and that's kind of my mindset going into this camp.
It sounds like you don't like